Now, here on Breakfast, we've been talking about the shortage of hormone replacement therapy drugs, but companies are now being accused of profiteering from those shortages. Caroline Harris, Labour MP for Swansea East, who's also the co-chair of the Menopause Task Force, claimed that some HRT products are being sold online for 3 times as much as they're worth. Campaigners are also raising concerns that some women are turning to the black market to access the drug. Well, Dr. Sara joins us now. I have to tell you, I was chatting to a friend of mine about all of this, and she was telling me a really extraordinary story yesterday. She'd gone to go and collect her prescription. One of the 3 items for her hormone replacement prescription was not available because of this shortage, and they weren't able to split the prescription. So she was told, can you just go and try all the different pharmacies in the area, and warned that she'd probably find the same situation in all of the pharmacies, in which case she'd need to go back to her GP to see if the GP could split it, to give her 3 separate prescriptions. And she just said, I haven't got the time for this nonsense. No. Not only is she short on the drug that she needs for HRT, but it's just a complete nightmare.
Well, yeah, neither the patient has time nor the GP has time to do all of those things together. It's definitely becoming very difficult. And so you can somewhat understand why women are going to the black market and going abroad and rationing their medications in order to try and access these things.
Apparently, some people are saying that you can find it through private doctors and through private pharmacies. Now, how can that be the case if there's a shortage? Why is that not across the board?
So it should be across the board, but unfortunately people do stockpile. Right. And they have been, these private companies have been hiking up their prices so much that they don't, fly off the shelves as quickly. But unfortunately, people are paying, 3 times as much as they need to for it. And I think that's just so sad. There are other things that you can be doing to try and manage the shortage. So, for example, the British Menopause Society have released a whole document about alternatives for your current regimen. Your GP has been informed about the different alternatives for hormonal replacement, but also there are alternatives that don't contain hormones to try and manage your symptoms.
But, I mean, it's a serious situation for a lot of women, and, hearing reports of women feeling suicidal, other women just completely overwhelmed by this. What are medical professionals been hearing from patients on it?
I think the problem is that people don't necessarily take the menopause or HRT seriously. They think it's a lifestyle choice, or, that it's a luxury. But it's, as you say, patients can really be struggling. It affects quality of life, work, social situations. So I think what needs to happen is we need to actually take it a lot more seriously. And you do get a lot of patients coming in feeling as though they're being dismissed.
And how long is this likely to last? And how did we even get to this situation? Because I understand the basic theory that, the risks of breast cancer have been, debunked now, and women in their droves are saying, I'm going to take this treatment. Yeah. But that doesn't happen overnight. That happens gradually. And surely these pharmaceutical companies are monitoring, an increase in demand.
Yeah, I mean, the number of prescriptions for HRT has doubled, but over the last 5 years. So, as you say, it's been a fairly slow increase. And I don't feel that the manufacturing companies and suppliers have responded as efficiently as they should have to the increase in demand. And
is there any way that it can be quickly remedied? I mean, are they going to be able to up production, or do women just need to get used to having to use alternatives in the short term?
Well, the difficulty is that we've actually been struggling with HRT shortages for a long time. We had, a shortage in 2019, 2020, again now. So this is something that's been going on for some time, and that it's not been rectified thus far is a worry to me. I think, we know that the government is starting to take it more seriously, electing this HRT czar, creating a rationing of only 3 months allowed to be prescribed. So I feel like, action is happening. So hopefully that means this time round we are going to be able to do something about it and do it more quickly. But we don't have dates yet.
Right, OK. And your number one tip then to anyone who's at home watching this and really worried about it would be to look at alternatives rather than to try and go and see their GP again?
Well, you can look at alternatives, or your GP can supply you with those alternatives. I think going from pharmacy to pharmacy to pharmacy is exhausting and not appropriate for a patient to have to do. So please speak to your doctor about alternatives.
OK, just one final thought. We've been talking this morning about the increase in the use of things and apps like Deliveroo, Uber Eats, and the impact it's having on our weight as a nation. The theory is that in 10 years we could be the fattest nation in Europe as a doctor? Is that something that worries you?
Of course, alarm bells massively. Unfortunately, obesity is one of the largest causes of mortality and lots of different morbidities. So absolutely, but I don't think we should necessarily mean we can't order out and enjoy ourselves. We just need to find ways to balance that.
Okay, good advice. Dr. Sara Kayat, always lovely to have you on the show. Thank you.